Habarigani, everyone. Nia. Today is the 5th day of Kwanzaa, and it is Nia, which is purpose, and it means to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. So you would light the green candle in honor of purpose. So I'm going to be sticking with our routine that we have been doing for the past few days, and I will start off with a libation statement. If you have your water and you have your plant, you can pour it into the plant right now. So I will call on the names of my ancestors throughout Black history and throughout my family and say Ashe, which is like saying Amen or so be it. Cousin Classy, Pappy, Pee-wee, Cousin Shug, Granny, Grandma Lavinia, Mama Francis, Uncle Richard, Eric, Skip, Shay, Nat Turner, Gabriel Prosser, Denmark BC, William and Ellen Kraft, George Washington Carver, Bessie Coleman, Madam C.J. Walker, Annie Malone, Meta Warwick Fuller, Michael Brown Jr., Von Derek Myers, did I say Eric Garner, Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin, Jeremy Robinson, Ashe, Akhenaten, Florence Mills, Junius G. Groves, Malcolm X, Betty Shabazz, Mahalia Jackson, Phyllis Wheatley, Benjamin Banneker, Han Matzeliger, Garrett Morgan, Ashe, Alvin Ailey, Jack Johnson, Spencer Fleming, County Cullen, Claude McKay, Zora Neale Hurston, Ralph Ellison, Ashe, Shaka Zulu, Queen Nzinga, Queen Candace, the Queen of Sheba, Marie Laveau, Ashe, the Tuskegee Airmen, the Jubilee Singers, Ashe, and for the hundreds and thousands of Africans whose names we'll never know because they lost their lives in the Great Ma'afa, we remember them now. Ashe. And with this we say the ancestors are pleased. So, our next little segment is Black Business Shout Out. There are 2 Black businesses. First there is mine, and I just got a button in the mail yesterday that I have on my Zazzle store. So these are one of the buttons that I have on my store, which features my art. So I will post my store below. I also have a website, so if you just, it's on the store. Then the next Black business shout out is the JAMAA Birth Village. JAMAA Birth Village. I don't know in particular if it is Black owned, but I do know it is of color. So it is a collective of doulas of color that help to educate the community about prenatal health, parenting, various things. They are a vital part of this community. They have helped a lot of parents during the birthing process and before the birthing process. One of the doulas named named Brittany, she is studying to be a midwife. I believe she may become the first Black midwife in Missouri. I'm not sure, but she is on her stuff, okay? So if you are passionate about motherhood, fatherhood, parenting, the birthing process, then go to their website and donate because they are a vital part of our community. Our Black book shout out are 2 books. One is called 1001 Things Everyone Should Know About African American History by Jeffrey C. Stewart. I chose this book because I feel it represents Nia. It showcases all of our talents in various fields. I have had this book since high school, and this book has helped me so much in learning about Black history. I know there was one incident where, and I would read this every night before I would go to bed. There was one incident where I was the only Black person in my history class. And my teacher didn't really care too much about my passion for Black history. She did a slideshow on cattlemen. She showed all of their photographs. They were all white. And then the one Black one, she had no photograph. She didn't go on a little detailed biography of him. She just said, and this is Nat Love. And then looked at me, clicked off the slide. I was like, why does that sound familiar? I read about him the night before in this book. So this book is really, really good. I would highly recommend it, especially if you have children. The second book, which I feel represents Nia, is Heal Thyself for Health and Longevity by Queen Afua. If you don't know who she is, you might recognize this book, which is Sacred Woman. It is very thick, and I say it would take at least 6 months to get through that whole book. But this book is targeted for men and for women. Queen Afua's Nia, her purpose has really transformed the lives of her readers. She has saved people's lives. She has gotten them off of medications simply by following her instructions. She used to have asthma, and she cured herself of asthma based off of her dietary changes and her lifestyle changes. So I highly recommend her because she is truly living her vocation. Another thing I found yesterday, because I mentioned the Black pages, I found some Black pages. Yay! So yeah, like I said, the Black pages is like the yellow pages, but only Black businesses. So if your town has their own version of the St. Louis Black pages, then please comment in the comment section below so I can check them out. Our ancestral shout out for today is Ida B. Wells-Barnett. I chose her because I feel she is the embodiment of Nia. She used her talents, her skills in writing, her skills in speaking to promote women's rights, but also to raise awareness for the lynching of Black people in the South and throughout the United States. She was the author of 2 books. Well, maybe it was more books, but the 2 that I know of, Southern Horrors, and A Red Record. And you can use her books if you are doing research about lynching. Her books are very excellent. Nothing stopped this lady's purpose. I think her office was burned down or bombed or whatever. That didn't stop her purpose. Her friends were killed. She still kept going. She lived a long and healthy life despite what these freaking lynchers tried to do to her. So shout out to Ida B. Wells-Barnett, our ancestor who lived her Nia. So now we will go into the topic for today, which I have some notes, so I won't go on a rant or ramble. Nia, purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. So before I even go into what Nia is, let me explain what vocation is, because some people have different definitions of vocation. A vocation can mean like a strong feeling or sense of urgency to take action for something. That is a vocation. That is somebody's calling. Like you have like some missionary or something going out, like, I have to do this, I believe in this, and they go out and they do their missions work or kidnapping or whatever they do. Whatever their purpose is, that is their strong feeling, their strong calling. Another term for vocation is a career, or basically like trade that you are doing. So you can either have a strong sense of urgency, or you can use your career to live Nia collectively. So as far as the Nguzo Saba, Nia's place in the Nguzo Saba, it would be, I guess, 2 things if you're going to personify it or make it into an object. If Nia were 2 different objects, the first object it would be is a map. You don't know where you're going without a map. You can have all of these principles of Kwanzaa, or the Nguzo Saba. You can have faith, you can have cooperative economics, you can unite people, but if you don't have a common purpose, where are you going? I don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're going, or you do know where you're going, and 3 other people are going in 5 different directions, which I know is impossible because it's only 3, but that's how confusing it gets. So that would be the first object NIA would be, is a map. The second object that NIA would be are the wheels of a car. So Umoja would be the car, and NIA would be the wheels. In fact, I feel like NIA is Umoja squared, for real. It is just a second component of Umoja. Anyway, so one example that I'm going to use to start off this lecture or rant is an incident that happened when Ferguson began, when Ferguson initially began. So everybody was out protesting, we're all out protesting, and there was an incident where we were all outside of the police station. And somebody started this rumor, I don't know, or there was a rumor going around that somebody had been found shot dead in a car and they were connected to something, or they were a witness, and there was just so much confusion going on. So in the midst of the confusion, people were trying to figure out who should be whatever leader. So there was some type of stand, or some type of, it was either they stood on the stand or they stood above the crowd. So there were about 2 or 3 different people standing on their, I guess, soapbox. I'm just going to call it a large soapbox. 3 different types of people. So one was an elder who had been very active in the community for a very long time. And this elder was like, we have to join together. We have to gather together and organize in order to get things done. We are going to have a march on such and such a day. So that was what the elder said. The next person was a young person. The young person's like, no, I'm tired of this marching. I don't want to march anymore. We've been marching for decades and y'all ain't do nothing. And I'm tired and I'm going to do this and da 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 da. And then there was another person. I don't even know who they were. I don't know who they were. They're like, no, because I don't know what they were. I don't know if they were Israelite or Muslim or something. Because Allah said, and such and such and such. And then somebody else was like, I'm not with Allah. Amen. Praise Jesus. I was like, okay. So I'm like looking at 3 or 4 different people like what? Okay, who do I listen to? Like, what's going on? So everybody's arguing amongst themselves. And the police officers are at the station or the fire station or wherever we were. I think it was the police station. And just looking at us like, I think 2 of them were laughing, just like, oh, okay. And now that I'm out of that situation and looking back, I can see why they were laughing. Because sometimes if you see somebody that says they're going to do something and they're just having all of this little, they can't even agree on something, it's actually kind of comical. It's like watching the freaking 3 Stooges. Like, okay. Okay. Well, when you're done with that, get back to me, hit me up and tell me what you're going to do. Because obviously you don't know where you're going. And that is why NIA is so important. How can you get anything done if you don't know what you're getting done? You don't know what you're getting done. You literally don't. I'm sure it was easier back in the day to get things done because we all knew what needed to be done. During enslavement, we all agreed like, okay, we gotta get free. We have to get free. And that is, I don't care what we have to do. We're all on the same page. We all have to get out of enslavement. Because not all of us were enslaved, but the ones who were enslaved, we all got to get out of enslavement. We got to find some way. We got to pass some law. And this is what we're going to do. Ida B. Wells-Barnett and other people who are against lynching. Like, okay, Okay, it doesn't matter if we're rich. It doesn't matter if we're poor. We are black. We are being lynched. We're being lynched for starting a business. We're being lynched for saying hello. So we got to do something. We all got to gather together, pass this anti-lynching law, or see if we can get one passed. Civil rights movement. Okay, they're not letting us eat here. They're not letting our children have quality schools. Okay, I don't want to be a second-class citizen anymore. Let's all just gather together. We're going to fight all of this. But after everything, well, not everything is done, but after people get complacent, they kind of lose sight. They kind of lose their vision. And they don't know what their vision is anymore because it's not in the forefront of their face. They don't see the chains on their wrists. They don't see their sibling hanging from a tree. They don't see that on the average daily basis. They don't. When you don't have healthy NIA, you will have toxic NIA, which I don't even count as NIA. You'll have a toxic purpose. You might be in a situation where, okay, I am in poverty. I want to get wealthy. What can I do? What are my options? I can either work hard for this money, find some type of career field, and just strive to reach that point. Or I could join a gang, sell some drugs, get my money that fast. I may go to jail. I don't know. Some people will choose that alternative lifestyle because they haven't truly thought out their entire life. There are people in this society that don't know what they want to do. They don't know what they want to do. They haven't taken the time to think about what their dreams or goals are. And so they're just wandering aimlessly through life until some type of obstacle gets in their way and they don't know how to handle it because they don't know what direction they're going in. That is why NIA is the map for us. Some people's purpose is to be the baddest chick. Some people's purpose is to be the hardest man in town. But that's not a purpose that's beneficial to the community. Choose some type of purpose that is beneficial to you, but does not cause harm to you or your community. If you have a talent, let's say me, for example, my talent is in art. Therefore, my vocation is art. Sometimes people have a skill and the community will utilize it in the wrong way. So even though I had the skill of art, for some reason people felt I should work with children, and that was not my purpose. They were basically misusing what my NIA was. So I ended up working with children for 13 years. It was a great learning experience, but I didn't like it. I didn't want to teach children. I started when I was 14 years old, so I kind of got peer pressured by adults, and I ended up working with babies, high schoolers, all different backgrounds, all different demographics and everything, teaching these children how to read, how to write, how to speak, how to draw, how to publish a book. And after 13 years, I was in my early 20s, I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm kind of done with this. This isn't bringing me happiness. This isn't bringing me joy. I'm not giving these children my best. And that is why this is not my NIA. You will know what your NIA is if you can do it and not feel like you have been energetically or physically drained. People who have a purpose find energy from out of nowhere. They'll just pull it from the sky. Look at all those people in all of these different movements in Black history. You had the Civil Rights Movement. You had the Black Power Movement. You had the movement after Reconstruction. They were people, Black people of all different ages. Some were very elderly, and yet they found the strength and energy to get done what needed to be done because they all had the same vision. Like I said in other videos about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King's body was, I guess, physically older than his actual age. Yet somehow, even if he had all these things going on, he found the energy and strength to keep going on with the civil rights movement. The same with Malcolm X. He had bomb threats. He had people trying to kill him. Yet his NIA was so strong that he still kept doing it even though his life was in danger. He said, watch your back. That's why they shot him in the front. They didn't shoot him from the back. So, oh, man. Anyway, I gotta look at these notes because I'm getting off track. So basically, my thing is, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you truly want to do? And when you think of what you truly want to do, think of a way that you can incorporate this into the community. Because obviously, together, we're having a difficult time focusing and concentrating on one purpose. So the only way we can get things done is to just focus on our own individual purpose, because we are all different parts of one body. Just imagine all Black people as one body. Some of us are artists. Some of us are scientists. Others are singers. Others are doctors. And if we're all doing our best, living our best selves, or living our best lives, actually happily, passionately fulfilling our purpose, that is one way that we can raise our community up. Some people get into activities that they don't need to be getting into because they're depressed, because they're not living their purpose. When you're not living your purpose, you're freaking angry. You're mad. You start being angry to others. You start mistreating people. I know when I had a purpose, when I had a job that I didn't like and it wasn't in alignment with my purpose, I was just a complete douchebag. And I don't know, customer service, I'm like, this is not my cup of tea. You have to find what is right for you. If you are happy, if all of us are happy and healthy on the inside, we will get things done. But anyway, another example I wanted to talk to you about is after enslavement. Some Black people, after they found out they were free, they left. They're like, okay, I'm out, bye. They just walked away. But then there were others that were too afraid to leave. They're like, where am I going to go? I don't know what to eat. Their purpose, their NIA was not strong enough. Their fear overrode their NIA. So you cannot let fear override what you are trying to do. Make sure your purpose is so strong that even if your life is being threatened due to your purpose, do it anyway. You only have one life, unless you believe in reincarnation. Then you have multiple experiences in different bodies. But while you are in this body, make sure that you are living your best life, that you are doing what you came here to do. That way you can live full and die empty. By the end of your life, you will know that you have done everything that you came here to do. You drew all of the pictures that you came here to draw. You sang all of the songs that you came here to sing. You danced all of the dances that you came here to dance. And now you have lived a full life. And you too will become one of those people that they talk about in history. Like, wow, that person was very talented. That person truly lived life to their fullest. So, that is all I want to say for you today. Like I said, your task is find out what your purpose is if you don't know it. And if you do know it, find out how you can passionately, don't have to do it, how you can fully and passionately incorporate your talents and skills into your community. And everybody have a beautiful and happy NIA, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.